Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon.
That's right. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
You didn't say that very happy. Take that one again.
Happy Tuesday.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that seemed like I don't want a mediocre Tuesday, you know?
Today is my son's birthday, and I sang to him in 4 languages. So,
Oh, very cool.
yep.
Did you really? I
Encore,
love that.
encore.
What's that? Yep. I'm sorry.
Whoop.
You'll have to do a demo of that for us, Rachel. I want to hear
Okay,
that.
sure. I did English, Spanish, French, and Hebrew. Those 4.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
I have a hard
And
enough
can you
time
do-
with English.
What's that?
Can you do it? Can you do it in real life too? Or it's only because of us you could do that now?
No, I usually do. I normally do. So that's just one of my little things that I do. So, but
That is great.
so he liked that.
Hey Ryan, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I like when I put people on the spot, right?
Where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Ryan thought he was just going to check in, and now he gets his name called. You know? Okay, great. So Mary and I did a little training on avatars today, and it was like, the request was avatar. And again, this is not her, but these were her words, right? Can we do avatar for dummies, right? Can I just really get that 1, 2, 3 step, process today? And so I do want to do that really quick for those that haven't been with us in a while, and then kind of bring everyone up to speed who wasn't on the Saturday call or yesterday's call, in that sense of where we've kind of grown as opposed to where we're going, a lot more about where we're at, right, and things in that perspective. So I made sure here is the AI Avatar Studio. Can everyone see that today? Has they done that? And it really is. I'm saying, because I say this humbly, because I build things for myself to use, so you could be sure it's built for dummies. Because even though I'm very technically savvy, when it comes to putting the round peg in the square hole, if it's not perfect, I'm as stumped as everybody else, in that sense. And so UX is really critical to me. So once again, if you're just brand new, you haven't started, let's put it in context first, right? Number one, right? Why do you want to use an avatar? Because what's the point of creating one if you don't really understand the use case for it, right? Because most people use avatars in the sense the dream is, oh, great, I don't have to go to work anymore. I'm going to sit on the couch and let my avatar do all my presentations for me. And that's not the way we designed it. We designed it to put you to work, in that sense, to create more work for you, more opportunities for you. Because I still, as you know, I believe in people, and I believe that there's 2 things people can do really well. They can talk about something they believe in, and they can usually talk about their website, because that's the only thing they ever put any effort in, right, into creating. And so our entire deal isn't about creating incredible content with incredible expressions and deep thoughts and pretend you're a marketing agency. It's really to create the best version of you and to create the best opportunities for you to speak. So what AI avatars allow you to do, number one, in a transparent way, be in 2 places at once. In fact, be in 3 places at once, in 5 places at once. And that's why sometimes when you're creating AI avatars, it's best to say that up front, because you're not trying to fool anybody. And so in our CRM that we're introducing this week, you're going to have a place to be able to put an AI avatar, or it could be a live recording of you, reminding people about why you invited them to the meeting in the first place. Why do you want them to schedule a meeting? Wouldn't it be great right next, as opposed to Zoom, which gives you about 10 lines of text that no one ever remembers, you can actually put yourself in there explaining to people in 30 seconds or less than a minute about why you want them to attend that meeting that's coming up shortly. During the meeting, no, you're not going to use an AI avatar. It's going to be you. After the meeting, what about a great opportunity to have a library of avatars to follow up? to be able to do it for the people who purchase products, for the people who didn't purchase for the products, for the people you want to onboard and train, right? Real practicality, real use case, and allowing you to make your best perfect presentation. What I said to Mary and Vicky earlier today is I said, I always notice like real estate people create business cards, and they're the only profession where they're obsessed on putting their picture on the business card, right? And it's always their best picture on their best day of their life. For some of them 20 or 30 years ago, right? But it's still their best moment. And you get to do that now in a much more practical way, getting to do that with avatars, okay? So if there's no questions on the use case of it, let me show you how easy it is to build. So Mary said to me, what are the 3 elements you need? You need a good picture, you need a good script, and you need a good voice as the simplest way to do it. Now, every time you upload a picture into our system, you don't have to do it again. So for me, like I like my slight Botox look, right? Nice haircut. So I don't have to upload that every single time, okay? But if I want to, I could literally hit the box and it goes right to my photos, right? And I could pick up any picture I want. It's that simple, right? So once it's uploaded, whether it be Tony Robbins, a celebrity, it can be anyone you want, it's there permanently, right? So pretty much one click and you got 1 out of the 3 elements done, okay? Second thing you want to do. Now you can cheat and you can use ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever you want, right? But what I like to do is write something from the heart, no matter what it is, and then have AI maybe enhance it, but not be me, right? So I'm going to write my script. You know, this is the most important training of the day because we care. Now, what's unusual about us is that we have this what's called AI enhanced. Now, I can literally add a button here, and I may do that someday, where have AI write the script for you, in addition to enhance it. And I'm strongly considering that, again, because everything is about time in that perspective, right? But when you hit AI enhance looks at the picture, looks at your script, and it's making suggestions about what your face and arms and body should do based on the script that you wrote. And you don't have to listen to it, right? It's just advice. And so right now it wants me to start off with a whisper, and it wants me to exhale, humanizing that picture. But I have a different vision, right? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase it. And I'm going to put in with confidence. That's how I want to start it, right? And the key is you have to keep the brackets. The brackets tells it that it's a direction and they won't read it in the script. And then I'm going to hit AI enhance again. And all of a sudden you'll probably see that light up in purple where it said whispers before. Or it gave it, in this case, it gave a different suggestion. Oh, I didn't have the right bracket, right? But you see what I mean? Everything I do changes that, right? And I play with that and I'll listen to that script 10 times, right? Every time to go, is my suggestion working, right? So now I got picture, I got script. I've only got one more element left, right? This is why everyone can do it, my voice, okay? So if you've ever done your voice before, guess what? You don't have to do it again because we're not recording the voice to record your script, we're recording your voice for our library. And I've actually done 2 versions of my voice. One where I'm pretending I'm speaking in front of 10,000 people, right? My Martin Luther King speech. So I have that energy, I have that moment. And one where I'm speaking one-to-one. And if I have it, all I'm going to do is click the voice, hit confirm, and you see I'm right there. It says me too. But let's say I'm doing it for the first time. So my voice isn't there. I'm going to clone the voice. Right? That's the key word right here. Clone the voice, right? That means basically create your voice. And you can do it 2 ways. If you've got a great 30-second or minute clip of your voice from someplace else, you can just upload the file, the perspective, or you can record your voice. Doesn't matter what you say. You can say Peter Piper, pick a peckle. Here's no special deal, right? It's really capturing your sound and your attitude and your tone. So you hit record voice. You title it, this in case might be me 3 because it's the third version of my voice. And then I literally start recording. And I can record for at least 10 seconds, but of course, it's not that much big a deal to do 30. 30 seconds will allow me to have the best version of my voice. And at any time, I can stop it and change it. And then literally, I'm done. I always hit the remove background voice because like I'm in a coffee shop right now and I may not want birds chirping in the background for my recording. And now my voice is done. 3 elements, right? Pretty simple. Picture, script, voice. And then what happens, right, is I also have this ability to add URLs because it's not just about making a video. It's about asking someone to do something, asking them to look at my website, my products, my services, actually maybe even asking them to enroll or purchase in the program. So I literally can type in as many URLs as I want because maybe I want them to go to 4 different pages on my website. And I don't want to ask them to do it. Guess what? I'm going to do it for them. Or maybe I want to show them my website and then show them my Calendly to book an appointment because I'm going to give them the option. And then when it's done here, I can go back in, edit, and decide exactly to the second what time I want those websites to appear. Pretty cool, right? And then all I do is I click it, hit generate, and I wait for it to appear here. My most recent ones will appear here, and then my full library will be here. And this is what I meant about being able to go in and edit, right? So I could watch it and share it with somebody. I could download it because maybe I want to put it in a different format.
Hello.
I could share it with someone, or I can edit. When I hit edit, this is what I'm talking about. So it just defaults to talking photo. I'm not going to call it that, right? I'm going to call it, this is my test video. Okay. I'm going to write a description. This is what they're going to see above and below the video when they're playing it, whatever that may be, right? Now I'm going to go in and if I put in my websites, notice it says minutes and seconds. So I literally can put in any website on any page and I can watch the video so I don't have to remember where that website should go.
Have you ever noticed how trading gets?
And I could go, oh my God, at the 1 minute mark, that's where I want that website to appear. All of that done, right? Then the last thing is, I don't want to send them an ugly link. They're not going to open it. So guess what? You get to choose the thumbnail of your choice from your photos. Sometimes you pick one, it's a big file, it may not work or a bad format, but you actually get to just click your thumbnail, go to your photos, and you literally can put that in and you're done. So we worry about someone opening it. We worry about their experience when they're clicking on it. And we worry about what someone is going to say when they see it. Now, also in the thumbnail, you actually get to have more words in the thumbnail even before they see it. Notice when I'm typing here, it's going to show up right in the thumbnail. Mary, right? I want you to watch this. How good is that? Right? Sorry, I'm going to mute some people out. I see hear some background noise, which means you probably hear some background noise. Right? And not that I'm so egotistical where I want you only to hear me, but I don't want to necessarily tell you how to hear that. Okay? Let me go back to where I was. Sorry, where am I here? Oh, now I can't even find where I was. Let me go back to where I was. Here it is. So again, any questions so far on anything I've showed you, right? Anything on that, right? Vicky, Mary, did that help? Which I couldn't show you this afternoon, right? But I did want to show you right now. That's why I made sure of that. So,
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'll say to you, if you want to do a celebrity or a character, right? It doesn't have to be a celebrity, but let's say, for instance, you want everyone to feel you have your own virtual assistant, right? That's kind of a cool thing. I've got my secretary, right? Again, you could do that. It doesn't have to be you. You're not limited to an AI twin, right? And that's where we can do a training where I show you how to, pick any picture in the world, literally right off of Google Images. You know, like I'll show you, and that's where how I do all my videos, because I don't want people to think, oh my God, you know, I've got to get this high 4K quality picture. So let me go here for a second. Okay, so these videos, for instance, in the communication center, are literally all Google screenshots. Get this one to open up. Okay, like here, this one, for instance. That this is a 1-minute sample I made of people who have a telehealth scenario. Okay, this is completely made up. This woman doesn't exist.
Good afternoon. Thank you for reaching out to PlushCare. You are just a tap away from speaking with one of our top trusted care doctors. By booking an appointment right here in our interactive video, we can confirm an appointment in seconds, and most of our patients can get the help they need all in the same day. With more than 1 million patients and a 4.9-star rating, I want you to know you are in the right place. And in case you are concerned, we do take most major insurance plans, but it is not a requirement for us to give you the help you need. So book an appointment right now, and we will see you shortly.
So I literally just Googled woman medical person, right? And I took a screenshot of her off of Google. I chose one of our voices from our library, but I wasn't limited to that. I wrote the script and created those websites. So I had a 1-minute example. If now I was in marketing, to be able to send that to every telehealth company around and saying, do you think you could use a technology like this? Notice I'm not selling a webinar. I'm talking about texting, talking about emails, talking about follow-up, right? So that's kind of the ability of the platform to have people think, oh, you're not Zoom with a buy button. Oh, you're much more than that, right? That's kind of the experience that we're trying to create. So we're focused on several experiences, right? We're focused on those experiences that happen to get people to a meeting. We're focused on the experiences that happen during a meeting. And then we're focused on the experiences that happen after the meeting, right? One of our guests on today, his name is Jeff, and I've had a chance to meet him several times. Great guy. Sorry, Jeff, I don't mean to embarrass you, right? Great guy, great vendor, right? And we've been working together and talking about giving you options live during the webinar. So I'm creating these really cool experiences that I don't want to cheat and share it, right? But this ability to it's almost like everyone having their own webinar company, right? In the sense of the functions and things that are available to people to be able to create these experiences that is a reflection of your brand, not ours, so our company's mission, right, is to empower you, right, to be able to create the experience that's a reflection of you, because that's when you're most likely to use the platform. And whether
I'm sorry.
Sure. No,
Okay,
go right
so
ahead.
I was working on a few more avatars on Friday night, and I couldn't get the lips to match. Why does it do that?
Sometimes it's the picture. You know what I'm saying? It's literally, when I struggle with it, I change the picture and all of a sudden it magically works, right? Okay. And sometimes, and like what I find, if a picture has a lot of colors in the background, that is a challenge for it. I don't know why it looks at colors somehow and complicates it. If it has a lot of items in the background, right? It do that. And then I will say to you that sometimes I've done like the one you're going to see tonight, right, is very, very cool. And it's based on that analysis, it shouldn't have worked really well, but it did. You'll see later tonight. But I've found through my own trial and error, right, that those are the things that, you know, sometimes you just can't figure out. It's almost like you go to a clothing store and you pick out the clothes that's the perfect size that you always wear, but that particular designer doesn't cut it that fits your body, right? So even though the label says it should work, right, sometimes that's the way it is in avatars. It really is an artistry in that perspective. And sometimes I've just got to do it several times. Go ahead, Michael.
So the issue with timing of lips and things like that, you're going to notice them, especially in the beginning of the video, and then as it's getting into it, it looks like it's synced and got in there. So what you can do is you could put 3 dots before the beginning phrases in there, and there are other codes and things that you could do in the platform that are simple to fix that. Now, there are also delays. Code, we have different things for delays though, but especially working with the videos, put 1, 2, or 3 dots, kind of experiment with it. You don't have to.
And Michael, let me also say this too. You could do 3 dots, you could do 3 commas, all those things work too. And sometimes one works better than the other, but you can actually literally type in brackets, short pause, long pause, right? It really does follow direct. When it's in brackets, it knows its direction versus instruction. And for some reasons, like you'll put in long pause and it'll come out short pause. And part of it is it thinks the rhythm. It really is a little bit like arguing with your brother, right? You don't always win, right? The AI will go, no, you're wrong. You're right. It sounds better with this kind of a rhythm. And you've got to then try something else to get it to do something else in that perspective. Didn't mean to cut you off, Michael. Right?
That's okay. So when I get a chance, though, I have a page that's got all the different cues and things that you can use and do in AI, especially when you're doing it with a video. And so that's what I did. I kind of experimented with them, figured out which ones worked, which ones didn't. Sometimes the advanced AI to help it put in size and different things like that work. Other times we don't want to really have them say, you don't want to hear that. So what you could do is you can edit that, but as long as it's in the brackets, that's fine. Or you could delete it. It doesn't matter though. But I mean, I've got a slew of tricks up my sleeve, and they work. And they work. So,
well, thank you. All the ones I did of me were fine, but the ones I'm doing of somebody else, I couldn't get the lips to match, and that was the frustrating part for me. And I spent a couple hours on it. Finally, I said, I can't get the lips to match. I'm done. I'm just start over again. So, okay.
Yeah, I've learned myself in working with many different AI platforms that when it doesn't get it right, and you just keep correcting it, you're like in the death cycle. It's like, no, you just gotta change the pace, right? There's just a point where it's just telling you, I don't get it in that perspective, right? So let me go just back up for a second, and then again, feel free to ask me any questions you want or have me show you anything you want today. But once again, there's some people that heard on Saturday, we made some new announcements, which you can actually see in our pricing page. You can see right here, my CRM. We're very close to releasing that. The only reason we're not releasing it is me, because I keep going in and tweaking the UX in that perspective, right? Because I'm in your shoes, and I want to just make sure that I don't want you guys to think I'm sending it out to you, and then you guys are the QA and the UX people coming back to me. And so, like I said, we're excited about this product. We think it's substantial as a standalone, but also built to integrate into the CRMs that you currently use or prefer as well. So we're not trying to change anybody's CRM, but when you're in the avatar business and you're in the business of accountability and, did people open my emails? Did people watch my videos and follow up in a system? You really can't exist without us having a CRM. And for us to integrate into other CRMs, it was easy to do that by building our own. Right? Because then we have all the APIs that we needed to develop to connect to everyone else's CRM when you build your own in a proper way. So it's that fine line between building simplicity versus building features. I mean, it really is like opening up another company in another division in the sense and that's why I always said the last thing we're building is the CRM, because it touches everything else, right? Everyone will get a free CRM, and then they'll have the ability to upgrade to more advanced features. So for instance, if you're uploading 5,000 contacts, which will cover, 95% of our people, your CRM is free. You want to send SMSs and emails to our system if you want to. If you have your own Twilio account, you'd be able to use that. If you don't have one, you'll be able to use ours. So you'll find that balance between not asking you to create a duplicate service in order to use our service if you have one, or use ours if you don't. in that perspective. And that is a fine line. You'll be able to schedule your meetings through the CRM, but you won't be able to schedule all the meetings through the CRM, but they will show up in your CRM. You're still going to be wanting to use our schedule meeting here. For instance, when you're doing, smart ambassador links, right? Too complicated to do with inside the CRM. So you would still do that here, and then it'll show up in your CRM from that perspective. And that's kind of the training that we're going to do, whether it be tomorrow or the next day, again, until I just feel it's at that point, and I'll have a special guest do the training with me who developed this product with us. It's somebody that I've known for 20 years in the development, have great respect for. There's not many people that we partner with in any kind of technology. I don't think we actually partner with anybody, but a CRM I felt was so specialized and so unique while we're still building our platform that we needed to partner with the right person, to be able to do that. And so we did that, and that's why I'm anxious to share that with you. The other scenario, which is really critical, and is we didn't change our pricing philosophy. We now broadened our pricing philosophy. So in the sense, like I've always said to people, right, I consider ourselves the Salesforce.com of webinars, or now what I would say a touchpoint platform, right? We're not trying to be the cheapest, right? We're trying to be the best. But just because you're the best doesn't mean you can't be affordable to everyone. So we now have plans, I'm saying, that start as low as $25 with no initial fee. We have $25 and $45, which will cover, 92% of every single person who uses a webinar, because the average webinar is between 6 and 8 people every single day of the 550 million webinars that do that. And so it's kind of silly to try to sell them plans that are much more robust, right? When the truth is most of them are going to be using it in that kind of a fashion. So now that we have grown the platform out, built out our infrastructure, we're ready to bring on that segment and that group of people that we feel are in that magic number of $25 a month or $45 a month. And then for the people who are substantial in terms of working with huge sales teams and working in huge affiliate companies, those programs, they need business plans. They're not built for individual plans. They need a lot of smart ambassador links. They need a lot of avatars, right? They need a lot of cloud storage. And so we're just classifying that as business plans. And that's where they'll still come in at $159 for 300 seats, or $199, for 600 seats. And they'll just pay $59 or $99 a month. And the exact same cash rewards compensation plan program is in place. We haven't changed that for anything on any of our products or programs. People will be able to buy credit bundles to get avatars, because I didn't want to make people have to upgrade to a plan with features they don't need when they really just want to do more international voice translations or more avatars. So you can stay in the plan that you have by buying additional credits without feeling like, I just want more avatars, but I didn't want 300 seats, right? So again, trying to make it where we're meeting people where they're at in that perspective. And so some people would say that, it sounds like you're ready for prime time, and I would say that that's a fair evaluation of where the platform is, where our go-to-market strategy is, and where our partnership with many of you are. And so when I say the CRM is the last heavy lift that we're doing, I would say that could be somewhat misleading, because it's certainly not the last feature that we're introducing. But I would say it, in terms of a development team and a construction perspective, it's probably the last fundamental thing that we're building, which is why you're seeing us being able to introduce so many features, whether it's either breakout rooms. Very soon you're going to see the co-host links. You're going to see the collaborative deal, because now we don't have all that heavy lifting behind us, anymore. I do want to remind people that tonight we do have our Tuesday night, call it a business opportunity presentation, call it an overview. We don't pressure anyone into enrolling in our program, but we just have a conversation and shared stories about people who have been in our platform, people who are using our platform, how to use our platform, and how we're different in the marketplace. So if someone that you've been talking to, as opposed to a demo, just wants a perspective on why we think we're as unique and different as we are, tonight, a good time at 9 o'clock Eastern time is a place to do that. So again, I just wanted to put everything in context in that perspective for everyone. And does anyone need me to show anything, share anything in that perspective? I'm happy to do it.
Harry had a question.
Sure.
So do you know yet about the credits on how that system is going to work, or is that still being built?
No, it's all built and done, right? The reason I haven't released the credits yet is we're waiting some information from one key partner that we have on credits, which will determine the cost of the credits, right? It's not like a case of, it's a significant part of the avatar creation process. And so that's the only reason I've held it back for final pricing until we get that vendor. So I could turn the credits on today, but I don't want to turn the credits on and then change the pricing 48 hours later because I couldn't get the number that I wanted to bring it at that perspective. So it's an advantage to everyone else, right? We're still not, right? Not charging anything is better than charging too much and then changing it. But that's where we're at. Does that answer that, Harry?
It does. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else? Terry, I just want you to know when I glance over at you and you're smiling like that, you make my day, just so you know, okay? It's not lost, okay? Now, when I look at Gail, I have to make her smile, so I have to do a little work with Gail, but, you know, I'm going to look at it.
But smiles are catchy.
They are, okay? And I will tell you, I don't know if you're using it in your own presentations, I'm saying, but I can tell you that I pretty much show one of those 1 minute versions, depending on who I'm talking to in every demo. And it is a difference maker. Even if it's not in the vertical, like if they're in a generic vertical, I'll show them the one where I speak 3 different languages, right? That sells them. They just go, okay, that's so cool. I want to know more, right? But whether it be the real estate one, the telehealth one, I'm saying the car dealership one, something clicks in their minds where it goes from sounds good, now I understand how someone would use it. That leap, right? Like I can tell you, and I shared this with a good friend of mine, Rick Miko, many of you know, he enrolled a woman who's brilliant. She's tech savvy, right? She's got incredible contacts. She's been pouring people on top of me morning, noon, and night, right? And then she scheduled a VIP demo, not for a guest, but for me to train her, right? Which again, I invite everyone to do. If there's an open slot, feel free to do that. And some people have taken advantage of it, like today, Mary and Vicky did, which I think was helpful, And you know what I was shocked about? How little she really understood. So it's not about how smart you are, right? It's about everyone just absorbs information in a different way, right? In a different perspective. And so like she still thought we were just kind of Zoom with a buy button. Even though she's seen all the recorded videos, she's heard me make the presentation ad nauseum, even to her guests, right? But until we were in a one-on-one situation, right? And I had a chance to have a conversation versus a presentation, it was a different set of light bulbs that went off, which is now opening up a door of a whole different set of presentations, right? So I'm just saying, you can't assume because you think I explain it well, or you think that you explain it well, that they actually understand it, right? And again, I give you one example, because this was literally just before the call today, is I did a demo, and Harry, you'll appreciate this, right? Is there's a guy who has a door-to-door business sales. He does the summer program, right? Selling, he has 300 kids working for him from all over the world. They fly, it's like their trip to America for 3 months. They think they're on vacation. They work from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, knocking on people's doors, right? And so my presentation for what this kid, right, who was one of his top sales guys, who he said, the kid told me in the beginning, he said, I worked for 2 weeks and I didn't make a sale. I was crying and I wanted to go home. And he goes, and the other day I made more money than I ever thought I was going to make in my life, right? He goes, talking about it takes time to grasp something and it takes time to understand something, right? And our platform will not affect door-to-door sales, right? But what he was so excited about doing is he said, when I go home on September 15th, I have no income opportunity until next summer. He goes, if I could use this platform to continue to sell books and tapes to these people in webinars, I'd be able to work 4 or 5 hours while I'm going to school and not be out of a job for 10 months. Never mind then the conversation about selling Pxch. So all those perspectives, right? So he's immediately set up a meeting with corporate. Now, again, and Harry, you can speak to it, right? Guys who train kids on how to do door-to-door are probably killer salespeople, right? They really know how to train, right? And get conversions, right? Because they've only got 90 days to work with these kids. They've invested a lot of money in these kids, right? And you know they teach these kids from 0 to hero to get conversions. Unleashing these guys on an online technology that gets real-time sales. That's why they were never interested in online before. There's no real-time sales. There is no close when you're doing online sales. So again, the idea that they can have their 3-month program and now have maybe a 9-month program, right, for the rest of the year for the best trained 300 crackerjack kids who they can't put to work because they're not going to knock on doors in Poland, in Germany, right? I'm saying we're doing that. Yeah. So this is what I meant about, we invented technology, but you have no idea where it can go unless you open up your mind about how it can be applied. There'll be still some people that'll come on and simply go, your Zoom with a buy button, and I like my Zoom, right? And you know what? I'm not saying they're right or wrong, right? But for that, every one of those, there's this kid in a coffee shop, right? Who, for the first time in his life, has made some money and can't stop himself from thinking about ways of making more, right? And so that's where I'm saying, and it's, for me, like I always say, anytime I do a demo for a 25-year-old or under, I'm thinking, oh, this could be rough. You know what I mean? But when I come out on the other side of it, right, and he thinks I'm the cool guy, it's like, okay, that's a pretty good day. It's a pretty good day for, not for me, but for our technology, right? And the direction that we're going in. And I'm telling you, I'm really glad I was able to say to him, it starts at $25. If I said to him it started at $150, I think he would have pulled back. He would have, well, I don't know if I could bring it to those guys, right? So I'm just saying to you, it needs to be a perfect storm. Pricing, go-to-market strategy, the people, the vision, right? And that's where I know when I'm speaking to some people now, they feel that corner turn, right? They feel like we're on the other side of that conversation now as we're going to be entering, the fall season, right? Where so much business gets done, whether it be in SaaS products, whether it be in affiliate marketing, whatever it is everything builds towards September. And I think we're peaking at the right moment in the right time, in that perspective. So, so again, I'm sorry, I'm babbling today. I apologize. I'm just in too good a mood. Yes, go ahead, Harry.
You said something really that I caught that I didn't get before. So I'm really glad you did. And I'm glad I came on today. When I do my presentation, my demos, I actually have been showing an avatar of myself. But you said something key is I could show one of the other ones that we have in the back office of the doctor. And I think that would be more impactful to several of my guests, if not all of them, instead of seeing me, seeing a third party. I think it's huge.
100%, because what happens is people immediately go into the authenticity argument. I don't want an AI twin of myself, right? I don't even like, that concept. You get that resistance, right? And then you get is, well, it didn't quite sound like you, or you're right. It becomes a false conversation, and then it's no longer about how someone can use it. It's about how good is the technology, right? And so I want to get them off the technology thinking away and thinking about, if you can't use it, you're going to tell me you don't know anyone else who could use it? And without that minute version of a real case scenario, they don't see it. The smartest people in the room, I'm saying, it changes the conversation. Even like I say, if they're not in telehealth, if they're not in network marketing and affiliate marketing, we have so many back there, right? But they immediately go into use case. Because again, I envision people coming to join our platform. They will never use a webinar. They will buy avatar. They will come in for avatars in a CRM. I mean, look at Twilio. Yeah, go ahead, Peter. Sorry.
2 quick questions. One, where are those 1-minute videos? And the second question is, Did you discuss on this meeting or any other meeting if how the compensation plan is going to work with the 25 a month and the add-ons?
I'd be happy to if I didn't. But let me first show you. Here's your back office. Okay. And you see where it says Communication Center?
Yep.
Just scroll down. Here they all are.
Okay. So on the left, the yellow button, I'm on my phone outside. I can barely see it. What does it say?
Yep. Communication.
Okay. And there they are. Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And then you can literally, during the webinar, or you can obviously send it, is I always just pop it up. It pops up in my browser and immediately share that tab. So without even creating, I don't have to go share a screen and all that. I'm in my browser. I just share this tab instead. And like, again, I've had a great success with the DocuSign one. People can't imagine how you could sign a DocuSign in a recording. They go, huh? It's like, again, it goes over their head. They go, that sounds good, but I'm not really sure. I show them that video. And then when I show it to them in recording and I say, it doesn't have to be recording, it's the same experience live. Oh, that's what I meant. It's kind of that perspective, from that point of view, right? That's where I'm saying these are effective. And I'm also happy to take, suggestions, of if you have a vertical that you want me to address one for, the human resource one has been an effective one. A lot of people work with religious groups.
Whoops. Something happened.
Yeah, well, Steve's in South America. He'll be back on in just a second. Sometimes they have off and on internet service down there. So just hang tight. He'll be right back.
Right. More than just
Steve,
impressing them.
You blacked out for about 1 minute. You blacked out.
Oh, what I'm saying is the great thing about those demos is you tell people they're demos. They're not like when I showed one to a real estate person, he said to me, well, I don't know if I would use that. And I said, really, how would you use it? And he tells me the whole script, right? So it's not about me impressing him that I know real estate. It's about getting him to say how he would use it. So that's when you don't have to own it. As my company made this incredible real estate video. And if you just plug this into your, no, it's like, you're the expert in your field. Your clients are the experts in their field. And you can wake them up in order that respect to do that, right? And if I would say to you that there's a theme of our technology, and it'll be a theme on tonight's phone call, and for anyone in sales, I'm sure you'll agree with me. When you're making a presentation, and it's why I love webinars, because I can look you in the eyes, right? I can see how I'm doing when I'm talking to certain people, right? I could feel the energy coming through the screen. Everything I do when I'm making a sale is trying to get that one moment of an emotional connection with my client, right? And when you do that, you feel it. You feel it when the person's nodding their head and buying into it versus asking resistance questions, right? Or leaping to tell you of why they're not ready now, right? Everything you do is to get them, whether it be to donate money, purchase a product, it's whatever your concept is, as opposed to a technique, to get an emotional relationship with somebody happens in a webinar as much as it does in real life. And the best thing about our technology, which separates us from every platform, is when you hit that emotional connection, they can take action. Because when that emotional connection is done, 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later, an hour later, you're not there, you're starting back over. To get somebody back up to that same perspective, you've got to really have the perfect customer who was really trying to buy what they wanted to buy even before they met you. That's the difference, right? That's why in network marketing, affiliate marketing, they always sell with testimonials. They don't sell with information because they have to reach people's emotional core, right? And I'm saying to train people on how to do that is hard. Everyone brings their own concepts on how they connect with people. Some people again, are too nervous to do it live, so they may want to do it in avatar. Some people go, I never want the avatar making the emotional connection for me, but I want them to make the close for me through the process, right? That's where I'm saying an emotional connection, meeting the moment of transaction, is a salesperson's dream, right? And a salesperson's dream isn't necessarily a credit card, right? It could be in booking an appointment. It could be downloading a piece of software. It could be signing up for my newsletter, right? Anything that gets you to the next step is the win. And Harry and I both come from a business, right, where we dealt with millions of people, not even thousands, millions of people who were not professional salespeople, but they were emotionally attached to the products. They were emotionally attached to their results. They were emotionally attached to, in some companies, to the income they earned, and they could talk about it from that point of view. And the person felt that emotional connection because it meant so much to them. And so what our technology allows you, I'm not telling you need to be emotional about Pxch, right? I'm saying, but you could be you could use Pxch to create the emotional connection that you have in the thing that you are passionate about. That's what we do better than, or maybe only than, any other platform in the world today. And that's when you go, can Zoom copy you? Yeah, maybe they can copy the technology, but can they copy what I just said? Right? I'm not so sure about that, right? Because again, we'll always be one step ahead of everyone else in technology. There's always a race. Somebody will catch up and then somebody moves forward. I'm really comfortable in that race, right? That's my comfort zone, right? But I know the zone we actually own, right, is that we know that our product is people, right? And if we can reach people, but you can't reach their pocketbooks, right? You can't reach their ability to connect with you with that transaction, then we have no business being here, you know? So anyway, again, can I, oh, sorry, Peter, you asked about pricing, right? So nothing has changed, right? On the $159 one, you make $50 enroller bonus. On the $199, you make the 100. We still have the 10, 20, 30%, nothing has changed, right? On the plans without the $100 initial fee, right? We're going to pay $5 on the $25. I mean, how, just so much you could squeeze out of the apple, right? Same comp plan on the back end, no reduced commission value, no different calculations. And on the $45, we'll pay $10. So it's 5, 10, 50, and 100 upfront, and the exact same compensation plan that we had before. No compromises, no explanations. On the CRM, remember, you get it for free, but we also have 2 plans, one at $15 and one at $29. That's also 100% commission value, dollar for dollar, that you'll be paid your royalty overrides on if you qualify for those. And it'll also be the same thing on the on any credits that you buy. There'll be commission value on that, and which is why I'm just being so careful before I put a price value on that, because it's not just charging a price, right? You're also earning on that. So Peter, hopefully that answered that for you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
A
All right,
question
thanks.
with the comp, is there a written plan we could download to read it, to study it?
Yes. If you go on your website,
Okay.
you go to the Success Academy,
Okay.
and there's a whole cash rewards tab where that plan is all listed.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Good.
And there's also some short, there's like 9 2-minute videos because I don't think you want, you got better things to do than listen to 20 minutes about cash rewards, right? So that's why we made it we broke it down for you. So, because maybe you go, oh, okay, I got this part, but I'm really confused on this part. So we broke it into sections if audio is your preferred way, than reading, in that perspective.
Okay, real good. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. No, thank you guys. So listen, if you don't have anything else today, I still got a job to do tonight. So I'm going to go get prepared for that. I hope to see all of you there. I hope you bring a guest. And I promise we won't let you down. We'll put on a good show for you. Okay?
Cool.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
See you tomorrow.